Hi YouTube, I'm back. I have a couple laws that I think that Congress should pass. I think these laws would be key for economic reform and to renew the economy and make it grow. These laws cannot fail. The first law I have is the zero law. The zero law would put all of America's debt, everybody's debt, everything that you owe would go to zero. And no one would have any debt in America. Now, you're thinking this might piss a lot of people off, and how the hell can they do this? Well, I ask you, think about when Christ was born. Christ was born, and they set the calendar to zero, and they just started over. They said, hey, this has gone pretty shitty. We got this new guy on the block. He's here to help us out, so we're just going to start all over. We're just going to set it to zero, and then we're just going to have a new beginning. I think America's in so deep in debt that we need to just enact the zero law. We're going to say, hey, we got some new guys on the block. Hopefully we're going to get some new congressmen elected tonight. And they're going to say, hey, what we got to do is enact the zero law. We got to put everything back to zero so no one in America has any debt. Imagine if no one in America had any debt. The economy would become, we could all go out and get credit cards again, and we could get loans, and we could buy houses, and we could do it all over again. And this time we would know better. We would know not to make all the stupid mistakes that we made along the way. We might actually be a little fiscally responsible with ourselves. I mean, we might have a little restraint because we know that we get ourselves back in the predicament that we're in now. None of us ever knew that the economy could get this bad just because we spent too much money. I mean, it just seemed like money was endless in America. Anybody would give you money. I mean, you could get a loan from anybody, any bank. So I think we need to enact the zero law. My second reform would be the Get a Free House Act. Now, this act would be key. And what it would do is it would fill up all these empty houses. We would give houses away to people. Everybody would be entitled to a free house. And you say, how could we do this? Well, I say, how can we not do this? We went away and we gave away free land before. It used to be when they had lots of land out in the West, you could just go out and stake a claim. Now we should have where people can just go out and stake a claim on a foreclosed house. And if this person's willing to fix up this house, live in this house, and pay taxes on this house, then hey, why not? Why not let that person live in that house? Who cares if the bank owns it and the bank's going to lose some fucking money? I mean, it's more important that we have people living in these houses so that people aren't breaking into these houses. They're not just being abandoned. I mean, it's not good having all these abandoned houses. I mean, people are just going to start living in them anyways. All the homeless people are probably off the streets now. They just go and break into an abandoned house. That's what I would do if I was homeless. So why not just give them a house? Why not just give people a house and say, hey, here's your house. This is what you're entitled to. One house. Next one, this is a no-brainer, and California has started to enact it, the legalization of marijuana. And this is a no-brainer. This would create jobs. I mean, imagine head shops. Head shops are key to leading us out of this economic hardship. And see, head shops, people think there's no money in head shops, but really there are. Head shops make a lot of money. It's just on the backroom deals. It's, it's on the marijuana that they sell on the side that nobody knows about. You have to go up to the guy and say, hey, I need some of that special stuff that you keep in back, and so-and-so told me about it. And you say, sure, come on in back. Now, why don't we legalize that? Imagine all the jobs it would create. We need tons of people to staff these head shops, and we could open up some coffee shops, and we need people to sell the marijuana, we need people to grow the marijuana, we need people to pick the marijuana, we need people to, this could create a lot of jobs. And then we tax the shit out of it, and then we get all sorts of tax money, and the states wouldn't be broke anymore, and we could have more higher police chiefs, we could run any government program that we want. It wouldn't matter because we'd be legalizing. You know how many taxes we're losing? I mean, the sale of marijuana is going to go on regardless. The government can go and try and fight it as much as they want. But it's like prohibition with alcohol. It didn't work. And prohibition with marijuana is not working. Simply put. Next one is the Let Americans Buy Stupid Stuff Act. What this act would do is it would give people money to buy stupid things. Consumer spending makes up 2/3 of the economy. Americans need to buy stupid stuff to make the economy work. Let's just remember the pet rock. Who's buying the pet rock nowadays? Nobody's buying the pet rock because we can't afford it. I mean, there was a time in America where everybody had so much extra money that they'd buy rocks. I mean, a rock. Why would somebody buy a rock? It was simply just because they had so much extra money and they thought it was neat that they could buy this little rock and that they could take care of it. And whoever thought of that, I just want to send some props out to you. I wish I would have been the guy to think of it. But, yeah, I mean, Americans need to go out and buy stupid stuff for the economy to work right. And people aren't going out and buying stupid stuff anymore. So, well, some people are, I mean, we buy a little thing here, a little thing there, but now we have to save up for it. And no, we need to buy stupid stuff on credit. We need to buy stupid stuff with other people's money that they gave us that they think we're going to actually pay them back. And we gotta know goddamn well we're not going to pay them back. But those are my thoughts on the economy. In Congress, I challenge you to enact these reforms. This is true reform that could not fail. Have a good night, YouTube.